Namaste, Hare Krishna, Chapter 1, which is entitled as Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Sloka number 26. tatrāpaśyat sthitān pārthaḥ, pittrān atha pitāmahān, ācāryān mātulān bhrāttān, putrān pautrān sakhīṁs tathā, śvaśurān suhṛdaś caiva, senayor ubhayor api. So in the previous few slokas, we saw where Krishna has been ordered by Arjuna to take the chariot in the midst of the armies so that he can see who are all present over there. And Krishna also, without any hesitation, he took the chariot and stood the chariot where Arjuna can see who all gathered on the other side. And specifically, we saw he was able to see Bhīṣma and Droṇā. And Krishna said to Arjuna, just behold, pārthaḥ, just see, it's Kurus. In other words, he was saying it's all one family. It's all the family, same family members, just on the two different sides, that's all. And when Arjuna saw, then he could see, not that he didn't know before, that they are all one family, not that he didn't know that who are all going to be present in that party, not that he didn't know that what the relationship that he has with others on the other side of the party. But when he saw that, he could see fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, father-in-law, well-wisher, all those different parties were present there. Sons and fathers, when we contemporary, not that his own son is on the other side, his father is on the other side, his father is not there anyway. So they are the contemporaries. So he could see all this person, like Bhūriśravā, his father's contemporary, grandfathers like Bhīṣma and Somadatta, teachers like Droṇācārya, Kṛpācārya, and uncles like Śalya and Śakuni, and brothers like Duryodhana and his brothers, and sons like Duryodhana, sons like Lakṣmaṇa, Aśvatthāmā, and then the well-wisher like Kritavarma. All those great personalities were present there. Pitṭn, pitāmahān, ācāryān, mātulān, bhrāttān, putrān, pautrān, sakhīṁs, śvaśurān, suhṛdaś. He could see all those different grades of friends. The 27th sloka. Tān samikṣasya kaunteya sarvān bandhūn avasthitān kripaya paraya vishto visidhan idam abravīt. When Arjuna saw all these different grades of friends and relatives and well-wishers, something happened to him at that point of time. Something which shouldn't have happened, as he experienced that one. He became overwhelmed and compassionate and started speaking to Krishna. Especially when you're in joyful mood or when you're in sad mood, you need someone with us. Not only when we are happy we need friends to talk, we also need friends when you're in sad situation and depressed. Otherwise it's just going to kill us. It's better to have one person or few people who can hear us. Not that they have to solve the problem, but at least there are people where we can go and speak openly. We can trust that person and speak to that person. They can help, they may not help, but we feel somewhat very nice when we speak to that friend, the well-wisher. Those are the people called well-wisher. So Arjuna luckily had that well-wisher right there on the same chariot, sitting there. That's Krishna. One thing to note here is, what Arjuna saw is what Duryodhana also saw. Not that Only Arjuna saw his uncle, teachers, brothers, sons, grandsons, well-wisher, father-in-law, etc. Even Duryodhana saw all these different people who were related to him. But Duryodhana did not have this emotion. He did not have Kṛpaya, Paraya Vishtu. He did not have that compassion or that overwhelming feeling. Of course, he was fearful, that we saw in several slokas before, but then he was not feeling overwhelmed or compassion like how Arjuna was feeling. That itself shows a difference of quality of these two people. Even after gone through much it's also important to know that what Arjuna and his family members have gone through in the hands of Kauravas, Dhritarashtra's children, no one would have ever gone through in their life. Right, starting from their childhood, after they lost their father, they went back to Hastinapur, and starting from that point onwards, there was an enmity from Duryodhana towards his Pandavas, which was highly supported by his uncle Śakuni and his own father Dhritarashtra. They were all supporting rather than correcting Duryodhana right at that point of time. Sometimes it is important that when we see the situation, we correct things then and there. Otherwise, what happens? It grows. When it grows, that becomes a practice. When we try to go and correct the situation, that sounds like, this is what we've been practicing for all these years. Why are you trying to change us? Why are you trying to correct us? So what is the truth is gone, and what should not be practiced has become a practice as a standard. Then someone tried to correct it, and that person looks like a fool. So Dhritarashtra failed to correct the situation. When Krishna was trying to correct the situation, and he was not appreciated much by Duryodhana and party. Where we know very well from reading Mahabharata, hearing the stories from Mahabharata, they were sent off from the house, and when they were staying in a place, the house was burnt, so that these 5 Pandavas along with his mother can be killed. And Bhīma was given poison to be killed. And they were cheated, and their wives were being dragged into the assembly where men were present and insulted in front of everyone. Then they've been chased away from the kingdom, didn't even give anything. So many such incidents have happened in the lives of Pandavas. But when Arjuna saw these people, he felt compassionate. He really felt compassionate. It's not artificial. It's not a made-up thing. He was really feeling compassionate seeing all those people. A compassionate nature is something, an human quality. One should feel compassion towards the people who are lesser than us in many ways. It's a couple of things is very important to know, is that we need to see those people who are highly educated above us, and we should always desire to become like them in knowledge. And we should see people who are in poverty below us, and we should be satisfied by what we are in our life. What happens is we are always applying the opposite of this one. That is, when we see someone higher than us in education and knowledge, we feel satisfied. At least I am having this one, I am satisfied. And when we see people lesser than us, we feel that we need to have more than anyone else. So it's very important that we cultivate this quality, that we have to become like learned person by associating the learned person. And we should always have this greed. Greed is good in some ways. Have this greed to wanting to learn more about Krishna. And then when we compare ourselves with the people who are lower materially, on the wealth, we should be satisfied with what we have. tatrāpaśyat sthitān pārthaḥ pitтрн atha pitāmahān ācāryān mātulān bhrātṛn putrān pautrān sakhīṁs tathā śvaśurān suhṛdaś caiva senayor ubhayor api tān samikṣasya kaunteya सर्वान् बन्धून् अवस्थितान् कृपया परयाविष्टो विसीदन् इदम् अब्रवीत्। नमस्ते, हरे कृष्ण।